Hello. I apologize for not posting for a few days. I was sick from a vaccine I got, but I am back now, and today we are going to be talking about um, whether you or not you can actually beat an emotion. So, have you ever really had the same recurring emotion over and over again from a certain moment or trauma in your life that significantly impacted your character? And do you ever wonder when it will go away? Like, you ever just keep having it over and over, and then you think to yourself, why do I keep having these thoughts? Like, it's the same emotion over and over. Why? Well, today we're going to talk about that. And the harsh truth about that is that that memory that impacted you so much won't ever go away. It just won't, because it made that big of an impact on your life and it affected you so much to the point where you you will always have that ingrained in your brain. And we forget 99% of our life. If you asked me, like, what did I eat 8 days ago for breakfast, I I couldn't tell you. Like, we forget pretty much all of our life, but we remember the important moments of our life. And while this memory might be negative, it is extremely important to you as a character and to just be able to experience that firsthand. So you can't just forget something that has made like such a large impact on you, or something that has left such a big effect. But um, that kind of leads me to my answer. So while I don't think you can beat an emotion, you're always going to experience emotions. You can't just cut one out of your entire existence because you don't like how you experience it so much during a memory or a trauma that you've had. But because that emotion will always be associated with that memory and that can't change, your reaction to that emotion has to change. And this doesn't mean avoid the emotion and bury it down deep inside you until that memory passes, because that's what I used to do. I would have these traumatic memories and just other things that would pop up in my brain, and I would experience these same memories over and over. And pretty much what I would do is I would just try to not think about it and toss it to the side until eventually, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes later, maybe even like an hour later, I wouldn't be thinking about it because I'd be distracted with something else. Now, this is bad, and you don't want to do this, because that memory, if you never learn to grow from it or never learn from it, that emotion will always be there. And that is a really bad thing for you mentally, like long term. So, what you need to do is whenever this comes up, whenever you need to experience this emotion, you need to ask yourself, why do you still get so affected by it? And of course, it's going to always affect you in some way, whether you have been able to successfully maneuver through that emotion or not. But it affects you so much to the point where if it affects you so much to the point where it literally makes you sadder or angrier or just feel differently about the current present you are in. So like, if I'm in like a good mood, but then I randomly have like that memory and it just like changes my mood completely, that's a huge issue. And that means you fully haven't come to terms with that memory and how that moment went or how that trauma went. And sometimes in life, you're going to make mistakes, or people are going to make mistakes, and that's going to harm you. And that shouldn't mean that you need to carry it with you throughout the rest of your life and keep it onto you as like a trauma. Like, I know people like to say, this is who I am, I just carry this trauma. And while there's certain things in life, whether negative or positive, they do help you build a better character, you shouldn't be having that mentality where this trauma is just with you. You're stuck with it. You're just kind of a broken individual, because that's just like victim blaming yourself. And what happens is you can't have good moments in your life without then having bad moments, and vice versa. You can't have bad moments without having good moments. And the whole part of becoming a better person is learning how to live life and experiencing the ups and downs that it has to offer. more importantly, the downs. Because I feel like while ups, you're able to kind of appreciate it and learn to appreciate it in the future, the downs are more important for being able to grow and mature as a person. And if I had the option to choose between a stagnant life where I would feel no ups and downs, but then I would also be quote unquote at peace, or I would live with all the ups and all the downs, I would choose 100% of the time all ups and all downs. Because if you wouldn't choose that, then why would you even want to live life? And I think a lot of people, when they experience some sort of trauma, they try to make their life as stagnant and uneventful as possible because they don't want to ever experience a down again. And when you do that, you're removing your ability to experience ups. So you're just kind of in this depressed, kind of just emotionless, numb state for such a long period of time. And it's never going to fix unless you're able to work through that emotion. And so I can give you an example and kind of like show you guys how I worked through my emotions. But I'll just give a quick example. So basically, my fall semester, I had a girlfriend for a short amount of time. It was about 2 months, but it meant a lot to me. And it kind of was a big deal to me because it was my first ever romantic partner. So when I realized that it wouldn't be able to work out, it took me a while to kind of be able to feel emotions and really regulate myself, because whenever I would feel it, I would use these outlets. I would be like, okay, I'm feeling this emotion, let me just power through it in the gym. Or I'm feeling this emotion, let me like do something else. And which is good. Like, you need to have outlets for your emotions, but you can't have outlets so much to the point where you're just avoiding everything. Because then every time you experience that emotion, you're not actually like learning from it, and you're going to keep experiencing it over and over again in the exact same way. When in reality, what you need to do is you need to transition from experiencing it in a negative way to experiencing it in like an acceptance way. Like, I accept what happened. This happened in the past. There is nothing I can do. I can change that. I need to either forgive them or forgive myself and move on. And that is the reality that a lot of people can't really come to. And that was the one that was really hard for me to come to. And I think a lot of people, they try to experience peace. They're like, now let me just be with myself, let me be independent. That's good. You want to be with yourself. But I think people have a very flawed perception of what it means to be at peace. People think, oh, like being at peace means not really interacting with anybody, keeping yourself safe by being avoidant. Whereas being at peace means actually coming to terms with what happened, but still continuing on to like live your life and experience stuff with other people. Because one of the most important parts of human life of life is human connection. And if you don't have human connection, you're just never gonna feel those ups and downs of life, because humans are innately social creatures. Saying incorporate people into your life. You can be independent. You can want to have fun by yourself. I made a video about how I said it was okay to be alone, which it is. I'm just saying, when the time arises, don't shy away from making new connections with people because you claim that you're at peace. Because in reality, it's just you coping through your emotions, but you're not actually learning from them, and you're keeping them stuck in your soul at the bottom of you, and you're never going to be able to release them and accept them for what they are. Obviously, you're always going to feel that sort of emotion from that trauma, but your reaction to it has to change. You need to be able to look beyond the emotion, look at it from a different point of view, look at it from a different standpoint. You need to do something else that allows you to not have this same trauma that's just stuck inside you whenever you experience the exact same emotion over and over. And just go about through life doing that. And I hope you guys I wish you guys all the best of luck, and thank you guys all for watching.